I don't know why I'm doing a pretty background. I kind of want you to do a split screen sort of thing, so that like they see both of us, so that they feel like, you know, connected about things again. I think it's going to be good for our viewers. I think it's going to make them very happy to see both of our faces at the same time. I think it would make me happy, mostly. Hello! We are
Annie and Konstantin.
And you're watching another episode of...
You know, updates!
I really hope that works. So this week we're being obnoxious and doing Evening Sun updates straight from Central Park. Because I can. Just because I can. So I have been in New York City for a week now with Grandma and my cousins. And it's been adventuresome. It's been a very, very interesting sort of traveling experience. So because of that, I have been doing very, very little actual work for anything, because when you're on vacation you're not supposed to do work, and when you're on vacation with family you actually can't do work. But I have been spreading brain weasel flyers around New York City. I've been spreading them at art markets in Williamsburg. I've been leaving them places in little cafes and whatnot. I left some at the NYU campus, at least the one building I could actually get into. I left some at Strand Bookstore, and then yesterday I got my grandma and my cousin to help me hand out flyers on Times Square, which was a very special sort of experience. Unfortunately, there is no footage of me actually handing a flyer to anyone, because it turns out that, you know, with a camera pointed at me, I'm terrible at handing out flyers. Without a camera pointing at me, I am just very bad at handing out flyers. Beyond that, it's just been traveling. It's just been getting to know a city in a very strange sort of way. And I think that's really all I got. I'll save the rest for the Epiphany. I'm sure Konstantin has probably a lot more interesting stuff to say. So, go listen to the boy. Now.
Well, I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I have actually less to share with you than Annie, even though she's on vacation. That little overachiever. The last week has been a lot of work stuff and some improv stuff, but actually not really anything KA related, I'm afraid. Well, it's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Right now I have to work a little bit to be able to cover the rent next month, but there's progress in that, so I'm pretty positive that I will be able to invest some time in writing a little bit and working on the MFG presentation the following days. So that's from the updatey part of this side of the ocean. Back to our New York correspondent.
So my epiphany this week is again a very simple one. I struggle with traveling sometimes because I need to connect to a place in a very specific way. I'm the kind of traveler who likes to, you know, feel out a place and gets really, really bored by the big old landmarks because, well, I've seen pictures of them already. You always have that pressure in traveling to get as much done as possible and to see all the places so you can be like, I've been there, I have seen this. But that's not the cool parts. The cool parts is the little things, the tiny things that kind of sneak up on you. It's getting lost, it's walking across a bridge, it's finding a really pretty tree, it's having just the tiny beautiful moments that matter. So far in New York City I have seen Times Square, a Broadway musical, Rockefeller Center, many other places that I can't actually remember because they didn't matter. But I do remember going to a little art fair in Williamsburg. I remember talking to people there. I remember walking through Brooklyn Bridge Park and just being blown away. I remembered the tiny little pond that we discovered in Central Park that just made me very, very happy. I remember hanging out with my grandma right here, right now, while I'm shooting updates for you. Those are the beautiful moments. That's the fun part. That's what I travel for. And that's what makes New York City pretty freaking cool. Yeah, I'm coming around on this city.
It seems like a lot of our epiphanies are very self-centered, which makes a lot of sense because it's a vlog that we're making. We are talking about the experiences we're making, about our very, very subjective view of the world. We define ourselves in this world by comparison, by reaching out to other people, and to a large part by the information we get from the media that surrounds us. And very subjectively, there have been two things projected into my world that are completely not related on two separate poles from the importance, and that is the failed military coup d'etat in Turkey and Pokemon Go, which is bizarre. And there's no easy way to connect these two things without making this epiphany an hour long. Those are only two examples of significant stuff that is important to me, that has a meaning to me, whether I want it or not. Okay, Pokemon Go is not that important to me, but still, it's a cultural phenomenon. It tells us quite a bit about our society, involving nostalgia, the sheer joy of playing, of collecting things, of bonding together, of the technological advancement, the possibility that worldwide people are connecting on their teeny tiny devices. And on the other hand, a significant change in the structure of our whole country. We as Germans, especially in the last years, kinda got to know better, because there has been a opening to the Western world and a lot of more interaction between Turkey and Germany in the last 10 years. And just of now, it seems, from the information we get on our side, that there's a lot of damaging and backward stuff happening in a country that in some ways is not that far away from us culturally, as many would like to make us think. It's complicated. Everything is really multifaceted and complicated, and relating this back to me personally, I want to hear stories about that. I want to see and read stories that connect to me, but they also involve all this cultural, societal change. And someone needs to tell those stories. Now maybe more than ever.
Hello!